Hey, this is Tony from Restaurant School and Diner, and today I want to show you one of the most powerful marketing tools that you have in your restaurant arsenal. So if you're a restaurant or a small business, this applies to you because one of the best things that you could ever do is optimize your Google business profile. Google Maps marketing is literally one of the most underrated marketing tactics that I see a lot of restaurant owners overlook. They're willing to spend thousands of dollars on their website or thousands of dollars on flyers. And the funniest thing is people are coming to your business through your Google business profile. And in order to take advantage of it, it's not difficult. It's just about understanding the fundamentals, applying them, and with a little bit of consistency, you can have more customers coming to your business just through your Google business profile. I want to show you how to do that. I'm going to put it in bite-sized chunks. This is something that I put together for my community in Restaurant School. And if you're a restaurant owner, it may be worth it for you to come check it out and look at some of the other tools that we have within it. However, if you want to learn more and get into your Google business mastery, stay tuned. It's coming up now. Welcome to Google Business Mastery. So this is a course, again, that I put together for my community at Restaurant School, a place where restaurant owners can come together, share tips, tricks, strategy in order to get more heads through the door and butts in seats. My goal is only to put more money in your pocket, have a little bit more time freedom. Therefore, you can run your business instead of it running you. So without further ado, let's get into why Google Business is so important. So why your Google business profile matters. First off, 70% of local buyers find you via Google Maps. They're searching for you. They're looking for places to eat or places to purchase or whatever it might be. And Google is one of the most sought out places where people go. Even though AI has really taken a chunk of the market and now it's like November 2025, Google is still the top dog when it comes to actually searching things, and AI leverages Google and Google Maps in order to find the information. So just keep that in mind. Google Business Profile also impacts the traffic that comes to your business. It impacts calls, directions, even sales. So it's really, really important that everything is in there accurately. In your profile, this is actually your digital storefront. More people will see your Google Business Profile than they'll actually see your business. You got to think about it as this is your storefront of what and how people are going to see it. And why this is important further is 7 times higher views on your Google Business Profile than your website. People are willing to spend thousands of dollars on their website, thousands of dollars on flyers that people will never see. It's more likely that they're going to see their Google Business Profile and you haven't updated your pictures in over 3 years. I mean, that's what I see often, so I'm just throwing it out there. But your Google Business Profile is more important than even your website. So think about that one, let that one sit in. 92% of customers read online reviews. I actually read a study recently that said that 63 or 64% of people, even if their mother told them a place was good, they'd still go and read the reviews. But 40% of customers visit a restaurant after looking at food pics. So all these small things that the Google Business Profile puts together for you are so very important. So I know it's obvious, but you need to implement. I'm going to put this in bite-sized chunks so you can watch, pause, and implement. If you do nothing, then nothing changes. Your Google Business Profile can literally bring in so much money into your business, and all you have to do is a few small things, set it, forget it, and then I'm going to show you some of the things that you can consistently do in order to bring in new traffic. So here we go. So at this point, I want you to ask yourself, why should I listen to this guy? What does Tony know about Google Business Profiles, about marketing, about anything? I'm a restaurant guy. I've had 5 restaurants and I've gotten really good at a couple things or not so good at other things. But the one thing that I am good at is taking the data and then putting it all together, just like Whitespark does. So this slide actually shows the Whitespark study, which is they take all the information and compiled from different industry leaders like Whitespark, Bright Local, Sterling, even other people that are in the industry. And they take what they've learned from doing Google Business Profiles and compile it all into one place. And this framework actually shows what moves you into the map pack and how to rank better on Google. Let me show you. If you just Google whitespark.ca and look up for, the local search rankings, you'll come up with this, which is the 2026 local organic ranking factors, which is amazing because you can literally go line by line and see exactly what to do in your business in order to rank higher on Google. It's not mystery, it's just data. And the best part is they just launched an AI version as well. And this is something that I'll jump into in another video, but Whitespark is a great, great place to start if you just want to learn a little bit more about it. But what I'm going to do for restaurant owners specifically is I'm going to chunk it down into bite-sized pieces, again, so you can just implement it to your business. And this is where I got a lot of the information from. So this is not rocket science, but step number one is get the basics right. So you want to correct name NAP. NAP is just your name, your address, and your phone number, and it must match everywhere. So what that means everywhere is if your Google Business profile doesn't match with your Bing profile, or your Bing profile doesn't match with your Yelp profile, it could cause issues with your Google Business profile. But we can get into that a little bit later. More so, when it just comes to your Google Business profile, make sure all the information is accurate. You want to make sure that you verify your profile. An unverified profile, if you don't verify it, it will not show up and customers will not be able to see it. And you want to pin accuracy. You want to make sure that the map actually aligns with the front door of your business. Now, if you have never gone on to your Google Business profile and you don't even know what to do, let's just quickly dive into that quickly. And I'll use Noble, my old restaurant, and one of my clients in order to do that. So the easiest way just to jump on your Google Business profile to make sure that your profile strength is good, to make any changes, and like that, just Google your business. So this is Noble Burgers, one of the restaurant clients that I work with, also one of my previous restaurants. So just go here and go to edit profile. When you go to edit profile, it's going to show all the information, categories, all that kind of stuff that you want to create, change, do whatever, but this is where you're going to do it. Now, if you don't manage your business, so if you don't actually see, this stuff in your Google Business profile, then what you need to do is do that first. You want to make sure that you have access to your Google Business profile. And a way to do that is actually just scroll down here, and where it says, actually it's not going to say it for me because I own the business, but if you go in this area here, it's going to say, do you own the business? And you just click that and you can request it from whoever does own it. If you are an owner of a business, just because I work with a lot of clients who have business profiles, make sure that you are the primary owner of your Google Business profile because it could cause unforeseen problems in the future. That's just an FYI. So now that you have your name, your address, your profile all set up, your PIN is where it needs to be, and your business profile is verified, then we need to pick a category. So category, if you see here, this is actually one of the first ranking factors is choosing the best primary category for your business. So if you're just a restaurant, you're going to be among a lot of restaurants because people, they don't search, hey, I want a restaurant. They say, I want a burger, or they want a Mediterranean or souvlaki or Greek or pizza or whatever it might be. So you could look at it and say, hey, maybe I want a pizza, put a pizza restaurant as the first primary category. And then what you want to do is add supporting categories. So it would include restaurant. I would include maybe a secondary item that you have on your menu, but what do you want people to know you for? Now, if you have a massive menu like the Cheese Factory, that's a whole other conversation, but just think about what people or how you want people to know you by and put that as your category. If that still is something that you're like, you know what, Tony, I just don't know, then what I want you to do is I want you to go to Google Maps. So in Google Maps, you're going to put in your restaurants and then the area that you're in. And then what it's going to do, it's going to show you the map pack. So if you don't know what the map pack is, it is these three places right here. Basically, 40% of all customers who go onto Google and search a place, they go to these three restaurants. And the rest is just nobody goes to like more places or whatever it is. Well, people do go, but ultimately you want to be in the map pack. So that's the first three businesses up here. And when you see that there's other ones on top that are sponsored, people are actually paying for those positions as well. Now, the thing is, you don't see here that there are any categories, right? So when you click on it, you don't see that there's any categories, but let me show you a little secret. So I'm going to show you kind of this little tool that I have. If you can see, you probably don't have these category finders, etc. here, and it's not actually hard at all to get these. It's a free Chrome extension. I want to show you exactly how to do it. So what you're going to do is if I go to, let's say, for example, more places, and I see who's ranking here, I can click on this and I can literally see all the categories in this. So they're a restaurant, they're a grill, Canadian restaurant, family restaurant. If I scroll down to, let's say I'm a Italian restaurant or something like that, right? And I go like Italian restaurant, Scarborough, and I want to see who's ranking the best. So here we have Scaramouche, they're actually sponsored, Vivo Avanti. So if I click here, I'll actually be able to see how they're ranking I'll be able to see the categories. So they're just marked as an Italian restaurant. Let's see Scaramouche. Let's see what they have. So Italian restaurant, bar, grill, cocktail, pasta shop. So they have a whole bunch. But going back to the slide, Actually, before we go back to the slide, let me show you exactly how to do it. So up here on the right-hand side, there is on your Chrome extension, just go to Manage Extensions. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Chrome store and you're going to look up this one right here, GMB Everywhere. And you're going to click it and you're going to put it into your Google Business you're going to put it into your Chrome. You're going to be able to see exactly what your competition has as their categories. Again, it's one of the most important things that you can do for your business. So the moral of the story is you want to choose a category that best suits your business. And if you don't know what that is, or you just want to find out more information, go get the Chrome extension, like I said. And then what I want you to do is add an additional 3 to 5 supporting categories. The reason being is because if people are looking for it and you say that you're this type of business, then you're more likely to show up. So it's really, really important you create a great primary category and a few additional supporting ones in order for your customers to be able to find you. So we're off to a really, really great start. We have all the information we need in there. We have our categories in place. We know secret ways that we can spy on our competition or the people that are outranking us in order for us to get more customers for our business. But I want to show you another huge factor. So right here, and this one has a caveat, I have here, include keywords in your name only if authentic. So this is technically against Google's rules. So I'm going to put this one a little bit lightly. You've got to be careful on what you do here, but it's very important that you understand the risks, but there's also going to be a gain. So if you go to restaurants, for example, and it shows here, let me just get this into here. So here we have Milestones. It just says Milestones. It's a big franchise here in Canada. I'm sure they probably have locations in the US as well. Here we have Jack's Scarborough. So this is the name, and then it has the location. So this is what I mean by having keywords in your name. So this one specifically, Scatabouche, they have Scatabouche, which is the name, and then they have Italian Kitchen and Bar Scarborough. So these are keywords that are actually within their name on their Google Business profile. You don't want to make stuff up like, say, best restaurant and stuff like that, although I have seen people do it. The reason why I say that is because there is a chance that Google could remove you from your Google Business profile, and that could be catastrophic. So if your name has certain elements in it that will help your searchability. So as an example, one of my customers has a meal prep. So what they do is they put the name of the business and then they put meal prep, and it's called meal prep, name meal prep. And when people search for meal prep, that's what they put in. So it's very important that you understand the risk before you do it. But if you do end up wanting to put something like, Italian Kitchen or Bar or the location or something like that, you can always get an OA, which is an operating as, so you can prove that that is actually your name. So there is a way around it, but more or less, if you do this, which I recommend you look into this and think about it, try to do it because it is going to boost your ranking, is to make sure you know the risks when you're doing it. And I just want to show you this here, right? So there are, back to White Spark, let me put it in frame here. The primary category was number 1. It's mentioned several times. Proximity, this is just depending, you can't change this. There's just like people that are going to be searching for your business, whether it's open, whether it's closed, whatever it might be. And then keywords in Google Business Profile title. So these are 3 of the most important. And this one you can control. So understand that, going back to our slideshow here, category is really, really important. Supporting category is important, and including real keywords within your name. Very, very important. If you haven't heard that one before, it's helped so many of my clients. So yeah. So again, this one might feel like a no-brainer, but there's so many times where I just quickly do this and it just boosts the rankings really quickly. Complete your profile. So what you want to do is you want to fill out every section, descriptions, hours, services, product, put your menu up there. Use local keywords naturally within your description. You can use ChatGPT for that, but you just want to make sure that it is what you want people to search for. Now, it's not SEO, so there isn't going to be people trying to rank for words and stuff like that. And to be honest, your keywords are not even that important. It's more of the other stuff. And I'm going to show you exactly how that works, but you want to make sure that it is 100% complete. Let's go back to Noble, and I'm going to show you as an example. So here in Noble, again, you want to make sure that your profile strength looks good and it's a nice big green ring. If it's not, all you have to do is just find out what's missing, and it'll say exactly down here what you need to do in order to do that. And then Google always prompts you down here, these big tiles, that's actually things that you could do in order to help the rankings. But all you got to do is go to the profile. It's going to pull this up and you're going to make sure that everything is accurate. You're going to go here, make sure that there's keywords like your location here when it comes to your town or anything like that. You're going to make sure that your phone number is correct. You're going to make sure your website's correct. If you want to add chat, that's a good one too. You're going to make sure that all the different profiles and everything is accurate. You're going to just keep going down, 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 and make sure everything is good. And if you need, add services, add special hours. Completion for your Google Business Profile is rewarded by Google. So you just want to make sure that everything is absolutely complete and that your profile strength is a nice big green ring. I know it seems silly, but it's just so many times it's overlooked, and that's why I wanted to share it. This is what I'm going to pop on camera for, because number 4 is one of the ones that you have to stay consistent with. So you have to see reviews as the heartbeat of your business. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the White Spark overview, it's literally reviews are mentioned like 20 times. And this is something that I do because it's a very low cost, but very high leverage for your business. So I create little things like this. I don't know if you can see that, but it's, one of those things that you go and you tap or you scan at the counter of a restaurant, or you do like little cards. I don't have one here, but like a business card, one like this in your bill folds. I don't know if you could see that in your bill folds when customers, but I'm going to show you a little bit more on how to do that. Hopefully you could see this with the small video, but make a long story short is you want to make sure reviews are a priority within your business. Love them or hate them, they're so important. And one of the reasons why customers come into the business. In order to do that, you need to ask, you need to respond, and you need to stay consistent. Ask happy guests right away. You want them to review at their happiest peak when they're full, they've enjoyed it. That's the time that you want to ask them, hey, can you leave us a review? You need to respond within 48 hours. Ideally, you're using the person's name, you're using keywords, you're saying what they're saying, and it's authentic instead of a copy and paste. And then also you want to aim between 4 and 5 stars, ideally around 4.5 stars. 5 stars people don't trust because they think that bots did it. And if it's under 4, people will look for higher ranking restaurants. So just a couple things that you need to take a look at. So how to get more reviews in 5 simple steps. And it's not rocket science, it's just about consistency. And a lot of this stuff you can automate it, and that's what I do for my clients. But number 1, you just got to ask. Happy customers, they won't leave reviews unless they're asked to do it. So you've got to train your staff, you got to put up posters, you got to do whatever you can in order to invite customers to actually leave reviews. Seems simple, but overlooked so many times if you're not asking. Number 2 is you've got to make it easy. So like I showed you in the video, you got to create these little things that I can do this for you for free even. Just get in touch with me. But you want to create these little NFC tags or QR codes in order for your customers to be able to just tap and leave a review. If you have a full service business, create a card, put it in the bill fold whenever somebody's about to pay so they can leave you feedback directly. And it's so powerful, but you just have to make it easy for somebody because they're going to forget. Remind them, if you have a way to get in touch with customers like we do, so for example, either through your phone system, through your ordering system, through your reservation system, or even from the review itself, however they sign up, you want to be able to send them like an SMS or a reminder to let them know that they can review how did you do, whatever it might be, but you want to remind them because people, once they leave the door, they're literally just going to go on with the rest of their lives. Incentivize smartly. So I'm going to touch on this one. Don't bribe your customers. Although you could have success by saying, if you leave a good review, we're going to give you a dessert or something like that. But it makes your brand feel cheap. So I've had a customer where they were doing something very similar to that. And I ended up stopping to work with them because it just made their brand feel really cheap. And I don't want to be associated with that. But what you can do is do it intelligently, creatively, create contests, create donation. So at Diner, for example, whenever we do the first initial 30 days of the review launch, we donate 1 meal to charity for every review that we get on behalf of the customers, not out of the restaurant's pocket, out of our pocket. Reason being is we want to incentivize appropriately so you can get as many reviews as possible. But all you need to do is just do a contest, put this in, say, hey, you can win a $100 gift card or something like that. I even have that on my customer here. They have, right here, and leave us feedback, and you can win a $100 gift card from the restaurant. Just something like that where you can easily incentivize in order for customers to leave a review. Number five, if you can automate it. So this is a shameless plug. If you need somebody to automate your review system, I can do that for you. But ultimately, you can do this yourself. You can get a free QR code creator and you can print something up and put it in the front of your store. You can train your staff and you can respond to those reviews by yourself, or you can get my company to do it. But anyways, ultimately, you want to make sure that you're taking care of reviews, because not only is it the feedback for your company so you can improve, but it's also one of the ways that Google identifies a great restaurant compared to a not so great restaurant. Right. So number five is photos and posts. So photos and posts are like proof of life. So as I mentioned in the beginning, that 40% of customers actually go to restaurants because of their photos, and nobody posts any photos on Google. So the goal here is, if you can, post at least 4 to 5 photos of your business and your food every single month. Otherwise, your customers are going to do it for you. And some of them are from crappy old iPhones. But Google doesn't know who you are, so they only can identify you through the actionable steps that you take on your Google Business Profile. Posts are another thing that's super overlooked. And one of the recommendations that I always have, and something that we do for our clients, is if you're going to create a post, use user generated content. So what we do at Diner is we actually take reviews, all the 5-star reviews, and then we put them in posts, and we post them up once a week. So it's just to show Google that we're active and create new posts on the Google Business Profile, which is going to boost the ranking and get more people to see the information. And it's also user generated content where people are going to read the reviews. So you want to make sure that you're adding new photos, at least 5 a month, and you want to put at least 1 post a week, if not more, but at least once a month, to make sure that Google knows that you're still alive. So upload new photos monthly, posts weekly. You can even do specials, events, even team shots, and ultimately, keep your brand colors and the lighting consistent so it looks really good when somebody's looking at it, because your Google Business Profile is exactly like your website. You just want to stick within those parameters to make sure it looks really, really good. All right, so we've gone over so much when it comes to your Google Business Profile. As a restaurant owner, some of this stuff could be really, really confusing. So my goal here is just to put everything into just a simple bite-sized portions that you can apply to your business, or you can get somebody to do it for you that may be a little bit more computer savvy. However, I want you to just understand a little bit of mindset and action items that we can use moving forward. So right now, your Google Business Profile is your digital storefront. So what I mean by that is more people are going to see your Google Business Profile than driving by on a streetcar or in their car or, on your website or anything like that. So pay attention to your Google Business Profile. Just because it's free and you're not spending thousands of dollars on it doesn't mean that it's not valuable. It's so valuable and can drive so much traffic to your business. Sentiment is key. So sentiment is like reviews, but the way people feel about your business, talk about your business, and that's typically through reviews. But it's not only showing Google, because Google can only trust a business through the reviews that it gets from third party, but also it's for the customers that are the customers that are reading the reviews in the future. They're deciding if they're going to come and patronize your business. Now, another thing is there's some things that you can change and some things that you can't. So let me give you an example. Going back to White Spark, this is key. So your Google Business Profile, your primary category, you can change this. Your keywords, you can change this. Your additional Google categories, you can change this. But things like proximity to address or physical address in city search or business is open at the time of search, this is stuff that you can't control. So Google has an algorithm on each person that is searching for a business. So if you're only open from 5 till 9 and somebody's searching, at 9 a.m., they're not going to be able to find your business. Or if you're in your business, searching your business, it's not going to show you there because Google knows exactly where you are. The algorithm doesn't work that way. And if someone's a vegetarian and you have a steak restaurant, they're probably not going to show the steak restaurant. It's because of the prior search history that person had. Google knows that they're probably a vegetarian. So there's so many different reasons why the search isn't working at certain times, but Google is smart and there's only things that we can do in our control and help the algorithm point your ideal customers to your business. Again, I'm going to remind you, you're doing this not only for Google. Google only knows your information from what you provide to it, as well as what customers are saying through reviews, but you're also doing this for your customers so that they can find you, so that they can review you, so they can read the reviews. It's twofold, and that's why it's so important. I'm going to provide a checklist. It's either going to be in the description or you can get it on Restaurant Skool. If you don't know what Restaurant Skool is, it is a community for restaurant owners where we can come together, share tips, tricks, and strategy in order to become better business owners, restaurant owners, and figure out ways that we can bring more heads in the door and butts in seats. So, you can find it here or you can find it on Skool for free. And last thing, do, one thing at a time and be accountable to yourself. Like if you do this, it will pay off. I promise you. It's been done for other customers as well. And I've seen the difference in their business as well as you can see the difference in yours. And shameless plug, forget about Restaurant Skool if you don't want to join a community where other smart restaurant owners are sharing their information. It's absolutely free. But if you want to automate this and you need a little bit of help, my company Diner can do that for you, where we actually get the reviews for you. So through like what I showed you, like this, something like this, or we can send SMSs to your customers. We also respond to those reviews using AI. So every response includes those keywords. It's responded to in a timely fashion. And then what we do is we actually repost those reviews on Google so that you can get the leverage from Google in order to bring more customers into your business. Again, shameless plug, but it's a really, really great system for a very low cost. And my last recommendation is create systems, not luck. If you are busy, you're a busy restaurant owner, you're running it yourself, or you have a big team, create the systems that you can put into your business, a checklist or whatever, so you can do this if it's not something that you want to invest in. But if you do this, I promise it'll make a difference in your business. I hope this helps. Again, my name is Tony from Diner, and I look forward to talking with you in the future.